W4MEC and 4LQ.
Low CQ, low CQ. Old friends and dish, old friends and dish. Time for the Tuesday edition as old friends get together. This is W4MEC, your net control for this Tuesday morning. Old friends that meets 3 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. and Friday, Sunday, oh man, I messed up. Sundays at 4 p.m. Same frequency as 3715 plus or minus vintage gear, and while we're focused on the restoration and operation of vintage equipment, anybody that can generate an AM signal is welcome to join. The net is amplitude modulation only, and it's a great place to sell something, advertise something you might want to sell, or what you might be looking for, or maybe some information you need to fix something. And it's also carried out in the old-fashioned roundtable manner, and I will take check-ins throughout the net, get everybody a chance to transmit. So, for those wishing to participate, W4MEC call, come down.
Good morning, Charlie. WA4LLR.
N4LQ.
W4KR.
K4GDN. KB4PSI.
WB4NKL.
WA4EVK.
November 4, Alpha Kilo. Okay, I think I had a weak station. I think it was Greg. We'll find out in a minute. We got Dave, WA4LLR, Steve, N4LQ, Stan, W4KR, George, K4GDN, Buddy, WB4ARK, and KB4P, KB4P, I haven't heard new in a while. I think it was Greg in there, KS4DRN. He was weak on me this morning. And then we got Boone, WA4EVK, and N4AK. And did I get that right, or who else is out there?
You missed Cliff, didn't you? K3OS.
Okay, I heard Cliff at that time. I wonder if he was the weak station I missed. I didn't hear him earlier. I got Cliff, and then I heard Doug, K3OS after him. Oh, he was weak too. Boy, a lot of weak signals here. I hope the band picks up a little bit. Anybody else?
I heard N4AK.
I got him. I heard. Didn't I say that? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, here's the list one more time. I'll say the whole thing this time. LLR, LQ, KR, GDN, ARK, PFI, DRN, EVK, NKL, and OS. Who did I miss, or who's there? Okay, we're going to go with that group, and good morning, fellas, and like I said, signals are a little weak. Greg was pretty weak. I missed NKL the first go-around, so things really pick up a little bit as the morning progresses along. So let's see, I got a blue sky out there. I have not looked at the temperature yet. My wife said it was cold, so it's cold. She keeps telling me this storm is coming this weekend. I ain't looking forward to that because a lot of his prediction is an ice storm, and I hate, the worst storm I hate. I hate ice storm more than anything. I had one time here that the ice was so heavy on my antenna, my old antenna, and it held up. The rope goes through a pulley, and I got an old disc brake and 2 brakes. I walked out there in the yard outside one time, and I looked out there, and I couldn't see my weights anymore. I said, darn, my antenna must have broke. And the weights are on the ground. I walked over there to look, and the weights are about 10 feet up in the air, and the antenna was almost in the ground from the weight of the ice. I did not like that. And then the darn tree branches that, dead quiet, and they finally give away. It sounds like a gunshot, and they come crashing to the ground. So we haven't had a good one in a while, so if we do, it's going to be a war zone out here with tree branches breaking out. So I hope that misses us. So let's get started with Dave. WA4LLR, the group, W4BC.
Okay, Charlie, fine business. W4MEC and the old friends, WA4LLR. Boy, what a difference an hour makes. At 7 o'clock, the only stations I could hear were inside Yancey County, and I could hear Cliff just through the noise. That CME arrival that got here a little earlier than they anticipated really played havoc with the band. The K-index got as high as I've ever seen it. Scale tops out at 9, and at 9 o'clock last night it was almost to a 9. It was 8 point something. So this morning there was just nobody on 80 meters that I could hear with any signal strength. Current conditions, 19 degrees, clear skies and breezy. Running the BC 610C and receiving on the 110A. And I'm curious if anybody saw auroras last night. I was surprised they weren't brilliant based on the level of geomagnetic instability. Got my phone out. I couldn't pick them out. Let's see. Not much more going on. We're still having a minor geomagnetic storm, so I'm surprised we have the conditions that we do. It's amazing. Steve, down to you. See any Aurora and Shelby N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ, negative. I didn't even bother to look, but could have been something. My wife told me that there was some predicted. Let's see, the prediction for this weekend is pretty devastating. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're up to, a while ago they were saying 10 inches, and now they're down to 8.3 on Saturday. And the bad thing about it is Sunday the high is supposed to be 24, and with a wintry mix after all that snow. So it's hard to figure out what's going to happen. This is going to be a wild weekend. Anyway, it's 24 degrees right now, and I'm running about 300 watts carrier right now, running all I can get out of this thing. So Stan, over to you. W4KR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve. N4LQ, W4KR. Well, good morning, everybody. Dave, I heard you at 7 o'clock. I heard you in and out. You were in and out. You were a little bit above the noise level, but below the noise level most of the time. So I just hung out for about 10 minutes, and then this ain't going to happen. So I just came down here, went upstairs, got a fresh cup of coffee, and came back down here about quarter of, and there was Steve down here. So at least it's funny. It looks like east-west propagation is better than north-south, because Cliff, you should be you usually hammer in here, and you're not doing it this morning. And Dave, you're jumping up and down. But George is 20 over 9, so I don't know. We shall see. Running the Viking 500 this morning. Got the I was going to run the 100-watt rig, but no. Crank out what I could crank out here on AM this morning. So George, here it comes, and well, before I do that, the Viking 500 and the 183D, the usual mix here. George, here it comes. K4GDN, W4KR.
W4KR and the groups, K4GDN. Everybody's coming in here real well this morning. So far, we're running the Viking 2, putting out about a little over 100 watts receiving on the black HRO. And so far, everybody's coming in here real well. It was 30 degrees this morning here when I got out in the shack about 7:30. It's clear and supposed to pretty much stay that way until this weekend. They're even reporting that we may even see a little bit of winter weather, but nothing's going to accumulate down here. It's too warm. Anyway, so far I say everybody's coming in well, and like I say, I'm running the Viking 2 on the infed half wave and copying everybody quite well. So with that, buddy, it's coming to you. WB4ARK in the group, K4GDN.
Because he clocked me in, but, oh, gee whiz. I'm sorry, I'm over in current. Anyhow, well, the weather here is clear. It was 19 degrees this morning at about 7:15, and it's 21 now, so it has not warmed up much. And yeah, they're predicting some weather this weekend, Saturday, and it looks like it could be bad. I don't know. They're still unsure exactly how much we're going to get, so we'll just have to wait and see. That's the way it is with weather. You just have to wait and see. We're running the DRT-13 on a crystal, which is a few cycles low this morning, and most stations have a little bit of a fair amount of QSB on them, and the signals the level is low this morning. Now, I stayed up until, well, I didn't stay up, but I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning to see if I could see the aurora, and I could not see it. So, I wonder how many degrees on the compass you folks are seeing the aurora. I'd be interested to know if anybody has seen it in the past where it comes in on the compass. So, with that, over to KB4 PFI. This is WB4ARK.
WB4ARK, KB4 PSI. This is Tommy in Greenville, Tennessee. 18 degrees here in Greenville is what I've got. But I'm hearing Steve. I'm hearing you okay. Stan, hearing you okay. And the WB4ARK station here, hearing you pretty good, but I didn't get net control. So what's the really weird situation here this morning? About the worst I've ever heard it here. But I'll make this my one and done. I'll just sit back and listen here to you guys, if I'm able to. Cliff, I think you're next, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, and I'll sit here and listen around for a while. WB4NKL. Good morning to everybody. KB4PSI.
Charlie Red and Yellow Delta on the list. Go ahead.
I thought that was Greg, KF4DRN.
It was probably me checked in. I checked in right after you called me, Charlie.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I didn't realize that. I heard it that week, Steve. Go ahead and put yourself right there and then pass it on to Boone.
Okay, that's what I originally had written down. It's WB4NKL. I'm in the basement station for a non-resident antenna, so that's what that RF floating around here in the shack, I think. 16 degrees here, and band has improved, but it's still not what it was supposed to be. I copied Buddy, but Buddy, you were about on my receiver. I had to tune about 5 kc low to receive. Down around 10 on this 75A4. And this is not be further on than you think. What's just going on here? Just cold and like supposed to get up to 32 today. Not too good of weather. Go ahead, Bo. WA4EVK, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL in the group, WA4EVK. Well, it's a balmy 20 degrees here in Pickens this morning. A real mixed bag on signals. Most everybody's coming in here pretty good. George is really strong this morning compared to normally, and we'll let her go at that. And I am not sure the next station, but I believe it's my neighbor over here, Glenn. Glenn, if it's not you, we'll work it out. N4AK, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK in the group, November 4 Alpha Kilo. Well, good morning, everybody. It's only 27 degrees over here at sunset this morning. It's clear. Signals are up and down. One guy might be 20 over 9 and the next can't hear him, so there you go. Little challenge to amateur radio. Last night I was watching the ball game and didn't bother with going outside in the cold to look at the northern lights. Let's see, today's commitment will be to go check my propane to be sure I have enough propane gas for emergency heater and emergency generator. It looks like we may get the ice. That's the bad stuff. So, since Cliff has moved, I think I turn it over to K3OS, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
Hey, Gary, take it away. K3OS, W4MEC.
Yeah, I'm sorry, W4MEC, K3OS. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, good morning. I switched rigs to get a little bit more power out this morning. Everybody's reasonably weak here, or not as up to snuff. So appreciate that here over in Hickory. I don't know, it's about 20-some degrees and clear, so I'm not going to hold it. But I'm running the newer ICOM, the 7610 into the amp, so I can get about 125 watts out, which was better than the 40 that I called in with. So got at least a couple of dB gain here going on. So let me not hold it. I know conditions are crazy. Let's turn it back to you, Charlie. W4MEC, K3OS.
Okay, Gary, very good. K3OS in the group, W4MEC. We have any other check-ins that would like to join us? Come on. Well, they might not be hearing me when I ask them to join. All right, this W4MEC and the old friends. Real good. I took a gander at the thermometer. It says about 21 or 22 here, so about normal. Last Thursday when I started the net, it was 21 degrees, and at 1 o'clock that afternoon it was only 23, so didn't come up much on Thursday. I don't know what it's going to do today, so we'll see. This winter. Let's see. Well, I didn't think I was going to be here. I was predicting that my daughter's car was going to quit again, which it did. Day before yesterday, she was at the gas station, wouldn't start. I think I mentioned that. Yeah. Wouldn't start to keep running, and we limped it on in to the shop there. And he found out that it had a mass air sensor issue and a leaking intake, one of those, that big intake hose that comes on the air filter, which is where the mass air sensor is located. And he just took it apart and cleaned it, put it back together. Didn't charge me too much, so I was happy with that. and less than an hour labor and no parts except for cleaning stuff. He didn't charge for that, but anyway, history so far is it's worked for 1.5 days, it has worked for 2 days, and maybe it'll make it past 3 days today before quitting again. And she's got a job interview and has to go see the doctor today. She's off, so I didn't have to wake up at 5:45 to drive down there to take her to work. So happy about that. And drive back down there again and go get on and on and on. Wear my car out just to get her to work there. So she's down in Mill Spring area, so not too far. If I could go straight to it, it would be only like 8 miles away, but I can go straight to it down Holbert Cove Road, which is like riding a quill snake backward and forth, you know. But I just go down 26 to 74 and come up 108, and and I forgot what the distance was. It's like 27 miles, I think it is, from her place. But the hypotenuse is 8. But the hypotenuse takes almost as long to go down it as it does to go around. So the mountain living, right? I was looking for shortcuts. There's another road that comes out of Saluda and goes directly to her house. I mean, it comes out right on the road that goes to her house. A little river cove or something road. It has got 17 switchbacks on it, so we decided not to go down there. All right, WA4LLR the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie. W4MEC and the group WA4LLR. Interesting band conditions. The signals east and west are stronger than north and south. Cliff is just above the noise, and George is 30 over, peaking 30 over. It's crazy. And Glenn's very weak this morning. But Charlie is strong, and it's just really interesting. And Gary, you got a good signal up here today. Well, let's see. Buddy, you were asking about a compass heading for the aurora. Well, most of the time I see it between 345 and 350 degrees. In other words, just slightly west of due north. So that's the way it is at this location, and that's what it's been each time I've seen it from here. And last night, I never could see it with my naked eye, but it was cold and windy. I didn't stay out long enough to get fully dark accustomed. But using the cell phone camera, I did get a couple of pictures of it. It wasn't nearly as good as the last display, but there was some there, some visible. My neighbor, Chad, came for us here. That's on 7 Mile Ridge, about 3 miles to the southeast of me and about 1,000 feet higher. Very dark sky. He was able to see it with his naked eye. Eyes got, accustomed to the dark. But, a lot of QSB this morning, and signals that are normally weak are strong, and the ones that are normally strong are weak. And quite interesting. Anyway, current space weather, sunspot count's 162, solar flux index 173, and the K is still up at 6, so still some stormy conditions. A few items for this day in history for those that hear me. A lot of political stuff. On this day in 2021, Kamala Harris became the first vice president. On this day in 2020, the first confirmed case of COVID-19 was found in the United States. 2017, Donald Trump was inaugurated. 2009, Barack Obama was inaugurated. Let's see, what else is going on? 1981, Ronald Reagan became president. And let's see, Jerry Lee Lewis made his first debut at the Grand Ole Opry in 1973. On this day in 1961, John F. Kennedy was inaugurated. On this day in 1945, FDR was elected to a 4th term. On this day in 1930, Buzz Aldrin was born. And one item that I know is going to be of interest to everybody, excuse me, On this day in 1982, singer Ozzy Osbourne bit off the head of a bat on stage. N4LQ, WA4LR.
All right, WA4LR is N4LQ. Yeah, that was interesting. Bit off the head of a bat. Boy, oh boy. Well, let's see here. Buddy was a little low in frequency. I had to tune you in. You were down at 3711.8. So you might want to crank it back up this way a little bit. I just about couldn't find you there. I have the selectivity set real narrow. Let's see, Gary's coming in good. George had the strongest signal, believe it or not. He was way up loud too. I've never heard George this strong. Just barely could hear Cliff. It's one of the weakest stations. So everything's wacko. Greg, KF4DRN, I never did hear. Not as of yet. And Glenn's coming through okay. So very interesting stuff going on. Well, the good news here is I got the Babcock MT5A running and putting out full power, and got the modulator section working, and I just fed a amplified D104 in it, and it sounds really, really good. Not enough audio power to drive it to full output, so it's only about 30% modulation. So I'm going to build this little op-amp preamp for the thing, and try to get it going here pretty soon and get him on the air. I guess with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to W4KR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, N4LQ, W4KR. Well, pretty much the same receiving conditions here. George is the heavyweight this morning signal wise. He was like solid 20 over 9 and didn't change. His aspirator just went there and stayed there, George. Interesting where the weather is. Temperature has gone up a little bit. It's 28 now, and what we're seeing for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday is 38 to 54. Friday, 41 to 54. Sunday, 27 to 41. Saturday, 27 to 41. Sunday, 26 to 36. Doesn't look like we're going to see any snow. We're going to see a little bit of rain, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. Low percentage though, but that's just the way it is. Buddy, I read your signal the same as the other guys did. You were just a hair low, and that's really about what I have to say this morning. So let me not keep it. Let's turn it back to the coast and see what the band is doing. K4GDN, W4KR.
W4KR and group K4GDN looked like plate voltage dropped there for a moment. Anyway, everybody's still coming in here quite well. There is some QSB, but I'm not having any problems copying anybody. And Buddy, your signal was a couple of KCs low, at least as far as the 75A3 and the HRO5 were concerned. But like I say, everybody's coming in well. We tried looking for the northern lights last night, but it just doesn't work down here. There are too many people, too many lights, and we got too many neighborhoods close to us. And Charlie, I did get your note yesterday to check, and hoping the tubes will be fine. We do have it planned now that we are going to be up there for the April meeting. I'm not sure that we'll get there before because of the doctor's appointments and whatever, but I don't really need the tubes. I just want to have them on hand so I can wait for them okay. We were up in Spartanburg County yesterday. We looked at a house in Pauline that really was pretty close to where Earl, W4ZEQ, lives. I assume he's still around. Anyway, it's got some possibilities. We may have to take another look at it, so I may become Pauline George instead of Roebuck George in the future. That's several months away, I guess, anyhow. But it's a little chilly down here, and they're predicting some winter weather this weekend. I don't know how bad it'll get. Let's see, anything else? I can't think of anything. Like I said before, I'm running a little over 100 watts with the Viking 2, and everybody's coming in here pretty well. I really feel like the band is behaving quite well. It's kind of unusual, but so with that, we'll turn it on over to you, buddy. WB4ARK in the group, K4GDN.
4GDN. WB4ARK. Well, yeah, my frequency is a little bit low, as I mentioned. And, Steve, I think you got it about right on frequency. And, so we got a crystal in that just a little bit low, but we're going to have one here soon that will be right on frequency. So, we'll just, we'll go back to the VFO on this. This next round. Yeah, George, you've got a very good signal today. Almost no QSB, and Charlie's signal is a little bit weak, but very little QSB. And Dave's signal is about just a tad weak, but not bad. And I'm using the ART13 today, so. And Stan, your signal is good. Cliff, your signal is a little bit weak, but definitely readable. So that's it for the signal levels. So anyhow, yeah, we're kind of looking forward to this snow event. We haven't had any snow in a good while, so I hate to make it bad on everybody, but we're hoping for some snow, and so we'll see what happens. But we've got some work to do on Duncan's track circuit before the snow gets here. So we're going to have to get out there probably Wednesday or Thursday and get some work done and get this out of the way. But so that's about it. And we'll turn it over to, well, no, I think KB4PFI signed out, so it'd be WB4NKL. This is WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4NKL. I got a little confused on the let's go around here, but I guess I'm next. On the buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and say 73s. I got about S9 and noise, and I think it's coming from the storm. I don't think it's local here, but copy to everybody through it. Okay. Say 73s. I'm gonna get today's day started here. It hadn't warmed up much, still about 17 degrees here, looks like. So I'll be glad when January's behind me. 73s, thanks for calling, Tom. Go ahead, WA4EVK, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, WA4EVK. Yeah, it's really a mixed bag on signals this morning. Looks like I'm a little bit low in frequency. We'll have to fix that. No. Close anyway. you got an unusually weak signal in here, just S9.
What you usually booming over here.
My neighbor over here is, of course, is the nearest station and the weakest signal. I'll hold it. I'll pass it on to him. I'm gonna, after listening to the forecast around me and thinking about it, I think I better test run the generator here after a while and make sure everything's good, because well, if we get ice, it's going to be ugly here in Pickens. Over to you, Glenn. N4AK, WA4EVK.
Okay, neighbor. WA4EVK. This is November 4 Alpha. So, yeah. And of course, my grandson is going to because they won't have school. They'll skip a few days of school, I'm sure. So he'll be excited to stay home and play with his game. So we have to Christmas. By the way, I saw something that the iPhone, there's a flaw, and if you got an iPhone like I do and use it to check into your bank accounts and so forth, you better be sure you got iOS 26.2. You want to be sure you got iOS 26.2, the latest update to protect your phone. And all you got to do is go into settings and look under general, push that button and it'll tell you what your current iOS is and your update. So anyway, for those of you who use your iPhone to check on your bank accounts and other things, just very sure you're up to date on your software. So bands are still up and down, but hey, that's the challenge of AM radio. Buddy, good to hear you this morning, no problem whatsoever. So I don't think Gary heard me last time, so Charlie, you may have to relay K3OS and 4AK.
On 4AK, K3OS. Okay, Glenn. I got the handover, but that was it. We're right in the noise and pretty crazy conditions today, but normally I copy you really well, so not an issue. All right, I'm going to duck out of here, guys. Nice to hear everybody, and I've got to run down to the hardware store here and get some lumber and do a couple of projects. I think we may all have to stock up on some projects for the weekend, and let's see everybody on the air. I did try to check in on Sunday, but I had local noise of, I don't know, about 15 over, so it was just impossible. I know that was local because it went away later on in the afternoon. So, back to Charlie, W4MEC, K3OS.
Very good, Gary, K3OS in the group, W4MEC. Real good round, everybody came through good and solid. I agree, George, you're booming in up here. Do we have any other folks that'd like to join us? Come now. Click. Okay, there we go. Got to push the switch there before it transmits, huh? W4MEC and the old friends. Yeah, old school here. Got to flip the antenna from receive to transmit with the rotary and then throw the plate switch on the TX1. So anyway, never wanted to go push the talk on it for some reason. Let's see what else here. Not a whole lot else going on. We can go around at least one more time. We're cruising along here, see if anybody else got something to add. I didn't even think about looking for Aurora last night. I didn't know all that was going on. I probably would have been the night I would have seen it, but it was clear. But didn't know. Let's see. I actually got a heater running in my garage shack there, but I haven't gone out there to check what was going on with the ART-13 on Sunday when I had to bail. And well, that was going to be a one and done anyway. Let's remember that now, because I had to go down. Let's see, what was that? I was going down to I can't remember what was happening, but I know my wife and I had to go out. We had to go get our granddaughter and take her down to Middle Spring. So I think Sunday I made 3 trips back and forth to Mill Springs. So, buying some gasoline. Thank God it's $2.50 here and not $8 like California. WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie, W4MEC, WA4LR. Give me a quick break. The car that's giving so much trouble, is this the same car for all the episodes, or has this been over different cars? Over?
Well, I think all of her cars have given her trouble, but this one takes the cake. This is a 2005 Mercury Sable, which is kind of like a Taurus, and it's got a 24-valve engine in it, and I would have thought that would the mechanics of the motor would be giving me problems, but it's always something electronic. Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe some British electrical system got snuck into that one, kind of like some of the British sports cars. Oh well. Anyway, we'll send 3 to the folks that are checked out, and I'm going to do the same. But I was looking at our weather predictions for this weekend, and I sincerely hope that they miss it. Friday they're saying 1 to 3 inches, or that's Friday night. Saturday they're saying 3 to 5. Saturday night they're saying 8 to 12, and Sunday they're saying 1 to 3. So if those are cumulative totals, we've had it. Oh man, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Bob Ingalls is going to love it. Time to go get some milk and bread. Charlie, thanks for calling. Everybody have a great day. Lord willing, we'll try to do it again Thursday, and hopefully the sun will be quiet. 7-3, God bless. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Yeah, it's looking bad. It keeps getting worse too. I just checked, and they're saying 8.3 inches of snow Saturday, and Sunday another 1.5 inch, and a high of 23 degrees, and ice mixed in with all that. And oh boy, what a mess. I'll probably lower my antennas to try to keep them from breaking, hopefully anyway. So everybody's coming in. Cliff was still the weakest, which is really weird, and George is still the strongest, the steady 10 to 15 over 9. So with that, I'll go ahead and say 73s, and thank everybody for checking in this morning, and turn it over to Stan, W4KR, N4LQ.
Okay, Mr. Steve, N4LQ, W4KR. Same conditions as the last go around. George still on top. George, George, mark this down on the calendar, George. red letter day. A good signal from GDN from the coast. Wow. Charlie, you were talking earlier about getting to your daughter's place. You know, it's interesting here. We're about 8 miles from Clemson, but you got to drive 20 miles to get there, because even though they're flat roads, no switchbacks, there's this thing called Lake Kiwi that's in the way. So you got to go south down to Seneca, and then 8 miles down to Seneca, and then 12 miles east from there, skirting the bottom of Lake Kiwi to get on to Clemson. And I got to do that a little later this morning. I happen to think about it again. Anyway, that's really about it. Cliff, I don't know. You were kind of the other end of the scale from George this morning, which is unusual. So, yeah, I think there is something to that north-south versus east-west propagation. With that, I'm going to say good morning to everybody, and I'm going to bail out also, and we'll give it a try Thursday morning, and I expect by then things will be back to normal. and y'all can start looking for the snowflakes. K4GDN and the group W4KR. Good morning.
W4KR, the group's K4GDN. Yeah, still copying everybody well down here in Myrtle Beach. Crazy band conditions, but as far as I'm concerned, it's doing really well. And thanks for all the signal reports there. Like I said, I'm in the Viking 2 just running a slight bit, I guess, over 100 watts. So, be that as it may, it seems to be working well. I'm going to say 73 on this one, but I'll listen to the end. Charlie, thanks for calling the net. And you're really coming in well down here this morning. And that's interesting about all the problems with your daughter's cars. It's the electronics, I'm afraid, every time. I've got a 2017 Moto Guzzi motorcycle that I bought new, and the oxygen sensors keep giving it a fit. Right now it's working fine. I did replace them once, but it's kind of unusual. All this electronic stuff, and when it goes, you're done. And my old 98 Sportster just keeps on clocking along. So with that, I'll say 73. Thanks for calling the net again, Charlie. And I guess it goes to Betty. WB4ARK in the group, K4GDN.
K4GDN, WB4ARK. Well, we're back on the VFO now, so everybody can sit back and relax and stop twiddling the dial. Yeah, I think it might have something to do with your daughter. Maybe she has got a problem with electronic equipment, or electronic equipment doesn't like her, or in the cars or something like that. Maybe mechanical too, because she's had mechanical problems. It seems like it keeps going on and on and on. So maybe it will get better. Well, I guess we'll say yeah, there's definitely something about the east-west propagation. There's definitely something about that. And north-south stations are definitely weaker today. Well, anyhow, we'll say 73, and thanks for calling the net, Charlie. And I hope we don't get hit too hard, but yeah, Dave, it does sound like that's cumulative totals, and so you're going to be in for a big problem. I would definitely lower my antennas. So that's what I plan to do on Thursday, and we'll wait and see what happens. So over to Cliff. I think Cliff's still in there. WB4NKL, WB4ARK.
No, he checked out. Boone, you still us?
Sorry about that, WA4EVK. I forgot to mark Cliff out. You guys talking about, or Dave talking about British electronics or electrical. I don't ever want anything to do with British automotive electrical again unless they've radically changed. I worked part-time for a garage one time that took in repairs on, quote, foreign cars, and I got very familiar with the fandom Lucas, as we called it. I once found the ground that was killing a guy's dash lights in the courtesy light over on the doorpost. Unbelievable way of rigging up dash light ground. I can't believe it to this day. But when I restored the ground in the courtesy light, the dash lights came back on. And with that, that's my tale of woe for the day. Thank you for calling the net there, Charlie, and I'm going to sign also and send it over to my neighbor Glenn. W4 Alpha Kilo, WA4EVK.
Okay, neighbor, this is November 4 Alpha Kilo, and I enjoyed hearing everybody this morning and keeping our fingers crossed about the weather. I had one other thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm trying to think of it. What? Oh, yeah. I was reading where the solar storm is the strongest since 2003. It's an S4 out of 5. So Dave, as he was telling us the strength of it, so it's on the news, it's saying the strongest since 2003. But interestingly, it sure boosted Georgia's signal up this way. 7-3s, everybody, thanks. K3OS and 4AK.
Hey, Gary.
He left last time. And still with us, Gary, K3OS.
I believe he signed last time, Charlie.
Okay, thank you. I think everybody more or less checked out, so there's only one or two of us left, so I guess 73 round not called for, but if you want to make a comment and close out, that's fine with me. And for those that are left, Boone, I'm going to try and make the net tonight if I'm awake and if I remember. So on 6 meters. So I know Steve's still there. I think Dave's still there, but anyway, we'll make this a 73 round if anybody's left. So W4MEC.
Oh, I said 73s, but I'll do it again. And everybody have a great day, and hopefully somebody will show up tonight on 160 in 4LQ.
Yeah, well, if Boone doesn't show up, and we might cut it short if it's really cold in this shack, so maybe I can make it back over here. So thanks for everybody that checked in the net today, and we'll look for you on Thursday morning. Don't forget 1864 tonight. Try and stay warm. It's W4MC shutting down the old Friends net. Bye-bye.